they would not believe you. I hardly believe myself. Hello, welcome to my Keto Kitchen. Today we're going to make strawberry scones. I'm going to show you how to make the best strawberry scone possible on the keto diet. Just trust me here, you are going to fall in love with it really quick. It's delicious and it is not hard at all, especially if you already have my cakes and cookies all-purpose flour made up, maybe in a container somewhere in your pantry, stored in your refrigerator. If you have that, you're ready to go. So let's get started. The first thing that you need is a food processor, because when we're blending flour and cold butter, you want a food processor. If you use a food processor, that will keep air between your flour and your butter, making things fluffy. You can also use a pastry cutter, that would be fine. Do it by hand, but that's it. If you use a mixer, it's going to be dense because a mixer blends, it does not put air between the flour and the butter. Definitely recommend a food processor if you have a food processor. So you need 3 cups of my cakes and cookies flour. 3 cups of the cakes and cookies flour is equal to 330 grams. That is the first thing we need. The next thing we need is 1 stick of butter, which is 8 tablespoons of butter cubed. And I'm just going to spread these around nicely. Next, we need 1/4 of a cup of allulose. I'm going to use allulose because allulose does not recrystallize as it cools, or as something sets in the refrigerator or sets on the counter. Erythritol can recrystallize, so I prefer allulose. And lastly, for this part, we need 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I got some on the food processor. I'm gonna just put back in there. Okay, I'm gonna turn this on. I'm going to watch it. As soon as I see that everything is well incorporated, I'm gonna stop. My food processor did not like all of this at one time, so I'm going to actually do half at a time. Okay, now let's try and see if half of it is a lot easier on my food processor. There it is. Okay. So if you have a stronger food processor, maybe yours can handle all of this at one time. Mine obviously cannot. It is pretty weak. Second time, second batch. There we go. Okay, I have all of the flour, butter, allulose, and sugar blended up very well from a food processor in this bowl. Right here, I have 2 eggs, but I am going to beat these eggs before I add them in. So the remaining ingredients that we need is 2 eggs, beat well, half of a cup of heavy cream. I'm going to pour the heavy cream into the eggs just to blend it up a little bit, since I am going to hand mix this. Okay, I'm going to pour that in. Then the most beautiful part, 1 cup of sliced strawberries. I'm going to mix all of this really well. Ooh, it smells like a strawberry shortcake. Now this will look like a drier dough, okay? This is not cake batter. This is not like that. It's more like cookie dough batter. I make a mess. No matter what I do, I make a mess, always. As a kid, my mother always told me, slow down. You do everything too fast. So, I'm going to wash my hands and get my large silicone mat because we're going to have to cut this up, and I'll be right back. I'm going to take some of my cakes and cookies flour, kind of smooth it around to prevent the scone dough from sticking. Okay, so I'm going to get all the dough out. I've taken all my rings off, washed my hands. Now, I have put this in somewhat of a circle. I'm going to lay parchment paper on top. Then I'm going to smooth it down. I'm not going to flatten it out. I'm going to make it about 1.5 inches thick. I'm going to get a little bit of flour on my hands. I'm actually going to pat this around so that it's not so sticky because I do have to handle this. Perfect. Okay, so I am going to cut this kind of like you would a pizza. Then I'm going to use this tool to just separate the scones a little bit. Okay, now all I have to do is set this on my extra large cookie sheet. And they are ready to bake. These are going in the oven, 400 degrees for 15 minutes, okay? So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to bring you back some gorgeous scones. But while they bake, we're gonna make a little bit of a glaze. So 400, 15 minutes, be right back. While those are baking, right here I have 1/2 cup of allulose. I am going to put it in a coffee grinder because I want powdered allulose. Allulose is already very, very fine, but I want it even more fine. So 1/2 cup allulose, and I'm going to get it powdered. Okay, let me show you how powdered this is. This is so powdered that it flies away. Coffee grinders are so good at powdering any type of sweetener that you need powdered. You don't have to buy it powdered. You pay more and get less. Just put it in a coffee grinder. That's all you need. I have a mini whisk. I have some fairlife milk and a tablespoon. So I'm going to add just 1 tablespoon at a time. Actually, I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons because 1 tablespoon isn't going to be enough. So 2 tablespoons. Then we'll see exactly how we want it. Yes. Perfect. All we needed was 1/2 cup of powdered allulose, 2 tablespoons of milk. I use Fairlife. So beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator until the scones are done and cooled. And when we're ready for it, we are going to drizzle this all over some gorgeously delicious strawberry scones. These are gorgeous. They're huge. I don't know how to make anything small, so they're really big. Whew, let me show you. These are gorgeous. Now, they're definitely gonna have to cool because I absolutely could not bite into them. I would burn myself. Wow, okay, let me show you. So these are still so very, very hot. I'm going to let them cool. Then we're gonna come back and glaze them. I'm gonna taste them and tell you exactly what I think. They smell divine. I smell the strawberries. Okay, I am back. They have fully cooled, and now I am about to put the icing on, and I'm going to zoom up so that you can just see how delicious these look. Okay, let's drizzle our glaze all over these. Okay, I am going to pick one. Pick this one to put on my plate. No, I have not tasted this. I have wanted to taste this. I want to know what your expectation of a scone is. Is it the ability to pick it up and it have its point, or being more stiff, less sweet, more sweet? I want to know what your expectation of a scone is. I just want everything to taste good, so let's see what happens. can guarantee you, you've never had a keto scone like this. Well, for one, it's not possible unless you've done this recipe with my flour. This is fantastic. I'm going to take another bite. I need to just take it all in. It's like running through a strawberry forest. The strawberry, you can taste it throughout the batter, throughout the dough, not just when you get a bite of a strawberry. You can taste the strawberry throughout the entire scone. You've got to see this close up. This is so perfect, I almost don't know what to say. I wish I could just put it through the camera and say, here, taste this. This is fantastic. You cannot beat it. You absolutely cannot beat it. If you can beat it, let me know, because that would blow my mind. My flour just shocks me over and over and over and over and over again. This is the best strawberry scone you've ever had on the keto diet. There's no doubt. And I would beg you, plead with you to make this. Take it somewhere that's not keto. Don't say a word. And just see how many people ask you for the recipe or tell you that it was delicious, and you tell them, oh, let's see, carbs. And you tell them, oh, there's no sugar, and it's less than 2 carbs per slice if you cut this into the 8 pieces like I did. They would not believe you. They would honestly not believe you. I hardly believe myself. If you make this, please let me know. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I post every Tuesday and Friday, and you have a blessed day.